According to the latest State of Food Insecurity in the World report, the number of hungry people in the world has come down to 795 million, which is 215 million down from the last decade. And still, despite that, India remains home to the second largest population of hungry people after China. While on one hand there is an issue of hunger, on the other there is an issue of hidden hunger, the deficiency of micronutrients.
A growing population of over a billion people with a demographic dividend affecting India's per capita GDP growth. There's an urgent need for India to focus on the health and productivity of its population, especially women and children. Malnutrition is one of the most common diseases in the country, and nearly 42% of the world's malnourished children live in India.
Hunger is like the body. Everything is seen. You can see the effect of food on the body. But micronutrients and nutrition is really the soul. It is not visible. It takes many years for it to emerge, the efficiency or the deficiency. And therefore, it attracts less attention.
Malnutrition has many dimensions. One dimension is where the population or the concerned individual eats less than what is required. It's what we call as undernutrition, or where they eat more than the optimum, that is overnutrition leading to obesity, etc. But on both these forms of malnutrition, what straddles them is what we call the micronutrient deficiencies, which is just nothing but the deficiency of common vitamins and minerals. It affects the cognitive development, it affects the growth and development in general, and it just stunts not only individuals but the economy of nations.
While India's hunger status on the Global Hunger Index has improved from alarming to serious, it is still behind countries like China, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Currently, India ranks at 55 and scores 17.8, with Pakistan and Bangladesh ranked 57, scoring 19.1 on the Global Hunger Index. 62% of the population suffers from vitamin A deficiency. 53.6% cases of anemia amongst pregnant women. 59% anemia amongst children under the age group of 5. 25% children suffer from iodine deficiency. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies are very common in India across socio-economic categories. Since these micronutrients cannot be made in the body, they need to be a part of our daily diet.
Most diets have no vitamin D. So where do we get vitamin D? From the sun. And the instant reaction I always got was, oh, yeah, there's so much sunshine. Why? What are you talking about? So the extent of deficiency in India is such that 80 to 90% of urban Indians have suboptimal D levels. Not only that, even in rural areas, maybe 50-60% people don't have optimum vitamin D.
We are not getting enough of these vitamins and minerals from the narrow diet that we consume. So therefore, they need to be taken either as supplements or by adding them to commonly eaten food. So this adding it to a commonly eaten food is what is called food fortification. One of the most successful examples, not only in India, globally, has been around iodization of salt. Today there are more than 130 countries where salt is iodized, in many of them by a government mandate, and in just about 3 decades, iodine deficiency has been virtually eliminated. And we should use that same strategy to eliminate a number of other vitamin and mineral deficiencies. It is possible, it is technically feasible, it's an extremely cost-effective measure.
There are 4 ways to get micronutrients into our system: dietary diversity, biofortification, supplementation, food fortification.
Why do we need to fortify our food? 146 million children in the developing world continue to be underweight for their age. So if fortification can help fight this kind of malnutrition, then how do we ensure that it reaches the lower income groups who are most prone to these deficiencies? Even that is a big challenge. The answer is fortification of affordable staple foods.
While it is all right to say that people should eat nutritious food, but if they can't afford nutritious food, or if they do not have access to nutritious food, then make the food that they afford and have access to nutritious. And therefore fortification, I think, is the answer really to addressing this need for micronutrient or nutrition deficiency.
In India, staple foods like wheat flour, milk and edible oil are consumed daily by all sections of the population, rich or poor, rural or urban, thus making them ideal vehicles for food fortification.
राजस्थान के अंदर जहाँ शिक्षा का प्रसार कम है, वहीं स्वास्थ्य के प्रति चेतनाओं में भी कमी है। हम जब स्वास्थ्य मापदंडों की बात करते हैं तो राजस्थान बीमारू प्रदेशों की श्रेणी में आज भी खड़ा है। अभी इसी वर्ष का सर्वे, जो NFHS का सर्वे है, वो इंगित करता है कि राजस्थान के अंदर 6.5 लाख बच्चे आज अति कुपोषित हैं। और इसी सब को देखते हुए हमने एक कार्यकारी योजना बनाई है। हमारी मुख्यमंत्री जी का ये फैसला है कि हम इन कुपोषित बच्चों को किस प्रकार पोषित की श्रेणी में लाकर जीवन की सामान्य रेखा के अंदर इनको सम्मिलित करें।
This primary school in Pratapnagar district of Jaipur not only provides basic education to its students, but also serves them one nutritious meal per day. This is made possible by the Indian government's midday meal scheme, which is designed to improve the nutrition of school children nationwide.
जो घर पे जो भोजन बनता है उसमें इतनी पौष्टिकता का ध्यान नहीं रख सकते लेबर क्लास लोग, तो यहाँ पे इनकी प्रोटीन और विटामिन्स की पूर्ति काफ़ी हद तक हो जाती है।
Akshay Patra, an NGO, helps fortify the food including rotis with iron, vitamin B12 and folic acid. Since a major part of the population still doesn't consume branded atta which may be fortified, there's an urgent need for government to make the fortification of wheat flour mandatory, which will in turn encourage local wheat mills to fortify their products. A premix of 30 mg of iron, 1.3 mg of folic acid, and 0.001 mg of vitamin B12 is added to fortify 1 kg of atta.
मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट जो है, जैसा कि PDS सिस्टम में पहले कर रही थी और राजस्थान में फोर्टिफाइड आटे की सप्लाई दिलवा रही थी, वैसे ही दोबारा यदि लागू किया जाए तो राजस्थान में कुपोषण की जो समस्या है काफ़ी हद तक या पूर्ण रूप से दूर की जा सकती है।
1 लाख टन फोर्टिफाइड आटा राजस्थान के जो हमारा फूड एंड सप्लाई विभाग है, इसके माध्यम से, हमारे सद दुकानों के माध्यम से आम जन तक पहुँचे, ताकि इस प्रकार की डेफिशिएंसी जो आज फोलिक एसिड और विटामिन्स की कमी के कारण होती है, माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स जिसमें आवश्यक होते हैं, उनकी पूर्ति हो सके, इसके लिए हमने एक योजना बनाई है।
While adding value to staple food, in other words, fortification is a grossly underutilized strategy in the developing countries. There are many parts of the world which have been quite successful in implementing food fortification programs like Europe and the US. After the break, we talk about the advantages of edible oil fortification and the collective steps that are being taken to create awareness. is known for its diverse culture and varying food habits, but still there is much in common, whether rural or urban, rich or poor. All cook food in edible oil, and since edible oil is fat soluble, it becomes an excellent carrier of micronutrients like vitamin A and vitamin D.
GAIN, Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, is an agency which has created an alliance of stakeholders like industry, government and civil society to promote edible oil fortification, with initiatives in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan.
2015-16 के हमारे बजट के अंदर हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कुपोषण के खिलाफ फोर्टिफाइड आटा, आवश्यक खाद्य तेल और इन सारी चीज़ों के बारे में बजटीय प्रावधान किया है.
Madhya Pradesh is a hub for soya bean oil and produces nearly half of the soya bean oil the country uses. Rajasthan too produces edible oil like mustard oil, groundnut oil and palm oil, thus making these states ideal for edible oil fortification.
विटामिन ए और डी के लिए हम खाद्य तेलों के अंदर हमने अभी 6 बड़ी तेल मिलों के साथ एक MOU किया है. उस काम को भी हम हाथ में ले रहे हैं.
In states like Madhya Pradesh, which has many cases of nutrition deficiencies, NGOs like the Center for Community Economics and Development Consultant Society, in alliance with GAIN, are making efforts to create an awareness about the advantages of fortified oil.
आम जनता तक रेडियो के माध्यम से, टीवी के माध्यम से, शहरों में होर्डिंग्स, शहरों गांवों में विभिन्न जगहों पर होर्डिंग्स के माध्यम से, बसेस के ऊपर, टैक्सी, ऑटो रिक्शा पर इनके एडवर्टाइजमेंट करते हुए, दुकानों में पैम्पलेट्स वगैरह डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके, ये जो जत्राएं, मेले वगैरह लगते हैं, इनमें अपनी स्टॉल में उपस्थिति दर्ज कराते हुए आम आदमी को हमने इसके बारे में जागरूक किया.
हमारा काम है लोगों को समझाने का, कि हमारा काम है लोगों को समझाने का, और लोगों का काम है समझकर अपनाने का.
This is the slum area of Bapu Gandhi Nagar in the city of Indore, which has a population of 2,800 people.
और हमारे बच्चे, हमारी माताएं बहनें,
many of whom suffer from micronutrient deficiencies.
उसके अंदर विटामिन ए और डी मिला रहता है. जो
और डी क्या होती है भैया, हमको तो मालूम ही नहीं है.
विटामिन ए की कमी के कारण आंखों में धुंधलापन दिखलाई देना.
From street plays to quiz contests to educating the slum dwellers about the advantages of buying fortified edible oil.
यदि हम ये सब्जियां वही फोर्टिफाइड तेल में बना करके खाएंगे, हमारे को वही विटामिन ए और डी की पूर्ति होती रहेगी.
These awareness activities have resulted in fortified oil becoming the conscious choice of most families in the area.
भाभी जी 1 किलो तेल का पाउच देना.
हाँ, इसमें विटामिन ए और विटामिन डी है, और इसमें आपकी आंखें, रोशनी और हड्डियां, बच्चों के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा होता है तेल.
So there is a label which looks like 3 leaves, which is really the 3-pronged approach that we have on fortification, and we would want that mark to be recognized and seek the support from consumer organizations to educate consumers about this mark, so that when a consumer is choosing foods on the shelf, he or she can actually differentiate products which are fortified versus those which are not fortified.
Mamta Yadav, a resident of Bapu Gandhi Nagar, cooks food for her family in fortified oil. This happened only after the owner of the local Kirana store educated her about its benefits.
ये तेल यूज करना चाहिए, इसमें विटामिन ए और डी होता है. ये परिवार की सेहत के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है. इससे बच्चों की हड्डियाँ मजबूत और आँखों की रोशनी तेज होती है और उन्होंने बताया जब से हम यही तेल यूज कर रहे हैं।
India consumes about 190 lakh tons of edible oil per annum. And talking about the edible oil industry, that's in a consolidation phase right now, moving from small, fragmented setups to a more sophisticated oil industry with advanced technology and thus making fortification technically feasible and cost-effective. Big industry players are now beginning to see the benefits of engaging in fortification and are now taking their initiatives to the national level. One can only hope that this addition of vitamins and minerals to edible oil soon becomes the industry norm.
I think we start with industry-driven fortification, but we simultaneously move policymakers for greater, maybe not compulsory, but greater access, greater policy, so that we can have changes that will help government-run agencies to also fortify food with the right micronutrients.
Our own brands, the Gemini, Nature Fresh, all the Vanaspati, which is of course mandated, are all fortified. And it's my desire to see that all the oils that are sold in this country are fortified, and even better if it is done voluntarily by the industry. Cost element is very small here. While there are various estimates, but I would say it ranges between 7 to 15 paisa per liter of oil that is fortified. So as you can see, for a 60 to 80 rupee product, that's a very minuscule cost. So that cost, you can actually be supplying 30 to 40% of the daily requirement of vitamin A to the population, about 15 to 16% of vitamin D requirement, and which is pretty large, I would say, if done over a sustained period of time, could address this problem of malnutrition or lack of micronutrients in diet.
So 2 years ago, this idea really started, and in our leading brand of soya, which is Mahakosh, we actually started it in Madhya Pradesh. While we have advertised, the brand salience has gone up very high, the brand equity has gone up very high over last 6 to 7 months since we have started really advertising, and this journey will continue.
So what then are the barriers of food fortification, and what is the way forward?
There is a need for the government to come in to see how it can help the most vulnerable population, both way of can they subsidize and make these vitamin mineral premix to the industry as a part of the government's contribution, so that the industry can take it forward and do. Educating the public on the benefits of doing this so that they would start looking for it, that will be a big thing for the industry. The barrier mainly that comes from the industry side is, if you talk to the industry partners, they often say it is not the cost but the competition. What they mean is, if there is a level playing field, if all are fortifying, then there is no cost advantage for one over the other.
And now that we know that food fortification can turn a staple into nutritious food, the process itself can be so simple and affordable, then why not come together and fight this form of malnourishment so that every child is happier and healthier? Thank you for watching.